Hello, and welcome to the second episode of Why We EGOT. This episode's all about why we got the Oscar Awards. Now, come with me to the 1920s, to when Hollywood was still new, and studio head and second M in MGM, Louis B. Mayer, was building a new house. And to cut costs, he figured that he'd just have the laborers at his studio get to work on building his house. Well, when Louis B. Mayer got back from vacation and saw the bill, he was stunned. That's because after much lobbying and protesting, the laborers of Hollywood were able to unionize, and so they were entitled to their contractually obligated union rates, whether they were building something for the studio or for the studio head. And the laborers' victory was very encouraging to those in the working class of Hollywood that were hoping to also organize, including the New York-based Actors Equity, which was having its members flee to the West Coast to get their piece of the fame and fortune that the Wild West of Hollywood was promising.
And it really was wild.
Before there was Vegas, Hollywood was Sin City, and the scandals of the newly rich and newly famous were going viral, captivating the American audience and selling newspapers. Stories of beauty queens getting caught up in the sex and drugs of Hollywood, and stories that involve actual crimes like the murder of William Desmond Taylor, and the murder trial against the biggest comedian at the time, Roscoe Arbuckle, led Actors Equity to believe that now was the time to organize. But Mayer was dead set on stopping unions from messing with his playground.
What are we gonna want next? Share the profit?
So Mayer concocted the idea for an academy that would take care of any disputes that would be happening within the industry, and also dole out awards. An award that Mayer could use to manipulate the industry. At least that's what he's quoted as saying in his biography, Lion of Hollywood, by Scott Amon. This is what he was quoted as saying: "I found that the best way to handle movie makers was to hang medals all over them. If I got them cups and awards, they'd kill themselves to produce what I wanted. That's why the Academy Award was created." And it looks to have worked pretty quickly. Let's take a look at the Best Actress category. Today, the category is seen as a kind of symbolic battle between old Hollywood and new as Hollywood transitioned into the sound era, with Gloria Swanson being the original movie star influencer and Janet Gaynor being the new actress in town, with Mayer deciding that Hollywood should look to its future, making Louise Dresser's mention kind of a head-scratcher even back then. Dresser was a very well-respected actress who, before coming to Hollywood, was actually an international star on the vaudeville circuit. But now that she was older, the only parts she was really getting were those of grandmothers. But Dresser was not one to let you think that she was not a star, and she was ready to do whatever she had to prove it. She too was looking towards the future, and about a month after being named basically one of the top 3 actresses in Hollywood, she came out with an op-ed completely opposing the efforts of Equity. And around the same time, Dresser just so happened to have a new role at MGM. Just a coincidence, I'm sure. And actually, star power was one of the tools used by the studio system to keep unions away, and it worked for a while, until the system started taking advantage of the stars too. But that is for another episode. As for this episode, we're done.